Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since we sat down and we filmed, and the last video that I filmed, I was updating you guys on my quarter 2 and telling you guys about my quarter 1 and how that went. And so yeah, I've got a couple little updates for you. So husband definitely came back from deployment, so yay to that. He's been here for a couple of weeks, and that would explain my most recent absence from social media. Also, I've been a little busy because we are getting ready to again move. A lot of you know that I came home to our home state to be with family, and so yes, we're getting ready to leave very soon here. But nonetheless, I want to update you guys. I want to share some things with you guys and tell you all about my plans and my changes that I've made. Okay, so let's get started with let's get started with this first, and then we'll talk about these two in a hot second, because I feel like we're gonna need a little bit of like a talk about it. So I had intentions to update my Leuchtturm, and I was really loving my Leuchtturm planner. I had everything in it from the start of the year in there. It has all my current medications and tracking in there. But at some point when I was trying to update it, I just realized that it just was not where I wanted to be anymore, and I just stopped. I stopped updating it because I realized that I was updating it for the sake of wanting to keep everything together, and I was forcing myself to be in that, and I didn't want to be in it anymore. It just had gotten really chunky, and it just was something that I just didn't care to lug around with me. So hence why I moved into the Hobonichi and stuff, because the Hobonichi paper, the Tomoe River paper, is thin and it makes your planner thinner anyway. So yeah, I moved into a much more slimmer planner. And plus, I just love this mustard color anyway. So yeah. So let's go ahead and look inside. So I've made myself quite at home in this planner. I've added tabs. I've been updating things. I've been doing a lot of things in this planner. I'm going to zoom you guys in. Maybe not. I lost my light when I did that. Oops. So if this video feels a little all over the place, I do apologize, but we're going to do real life here without as many edits. Okay, so like I said in last video, I have 3 books in here, technically 4. I didn't share the last one, but I have the spring edition of the weekly supplement, and then I have the Hobonichi cousin, or I'm sorry, Hobonichi original in A6, and then I have a A6 Nanami Cafe Note, which I have yet to get into, and I'll explain. And then I also have a Field Notes book in the back, which was there prior to this new setup. So let's go into this weekly supplement. So the last time when I shared this weekly supplement, I was explaining that I had intentions of what I wanted to do with it, and then I didn't use it. I hadn't used it yet. Because this layout is just so teeny tiny, it's really hard to get what I want into this planner. I write small, but not this, microscopic small. Even when I'm writing in like Passport, it's still kind of tight. But the way that these boxes are set up is just not for me in terms of like writing that small. So basically what this weekly is this is like a notes weekly where, and in my terms of notes weekly, it's basically where I dump the contents of my week in here. So it's messy. It's spilling over into other days, and basically I just write things pertaining to the week in here with no like real structure. It's just things. It's written on that day, or it's written within that week. So I mean, in a way, it's kind of like being used as a weekly where, there's certain things on certain days or specific days and so on. But honestly, it's just a dumping ground for the week. Like I pre-fill in my week here, and then I do my actual weekly planning somewhere else. So this is like my weekly dump. And then, yeah, that's basically how I use this. I just started highlighting vacation days because me and my husband are going to take another R&R vacation before we head out to tech school for training, because I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but my husband is retraining, and so we are going to be going there with him. So this is basically how this weekly supplement ended up turning out to be. Now, when I jump into the Hobonichi original, I didn't originally have tabs or anything like that. I started tabbing it out because I realized that this paper is so thin that I needed to be able to quick jump to certain parts of this planner. So I tabbed out all the sections. And I'm going to be very, very careful not to touch the paper because I have like Neosporin on this band-aid here because I cut myself doing something very fun today. But yeah, it's kind of like oily and I don't want to get that on my pages. So I'm going to be kind of careful to not touch the pages. But I tabbed out everything for the monthlies here, and then at the top here I have tabbed out specific things within this planner. So I have a section for goals, and I'll explain that section once we get there. And then I have another little tab that just says little things, and then odds and ends. I'll quickly jump to those tabs. So the tab that says little things, this tab is going to like my favorites section. You guys know I've been into reading a lot, and so I wanted to write down my favorite books or favorite shows that I'm really loving, or places that I like to eat. There have been a plethora of places that I've been like screenshotting or saving as a favorite in my phone, and I just kind of want to put it out on paper and see it for myself, like the certain books or authors that I'm reading, movies that I've watched, songs that I'm like constantly listening to. I want to kind of write them down. I love that Hobonichi at least has stuff like this in their planners. I don't care for all the other little things that they have, but this is kind of fun. And then this next section, which just says odds and ends, is a 100s list, which I'm thinking to put 100 different things that I want to do, or books that I want to read, or just whatever. It's going to be a list of just odds and ends, things that I just want to do. I'm still in the process of kind of setting everything up because life has been happening. You know, I've still had my appointments. I'm still living life and doing life. So I don't really have a whole lot of time to sit down and navigate through what I want to add and how I want to set things up. So as I get a little time, I'm just working on my planner and setting it up and adding the things that I keep telling myself that I'm going to add. So those are the little sections in the back that I've tabbed off. Now when I go to my goal section, so as you guys know, there's the monthlies, and then you had this blank space here, which was basically just like a blank space for anything. I decided to make it a goals page. This is not a concrete like for the entire year's goals page. This is just a goal page that I set up for May through August, and it's pertaining to my weight. So a lot of you know that I've been working on my weight this year. I lost a little over 20 pounds, and so I felt really good. I also was taking a medication which was also helping me to lose weight, and I wanted to continue to lose weight without the medication. And so I started setting some realistic goals, like where my current weight is and what my weight needs to be by the end of this month, and then so on, just to help me stay on track. I've done really good on the medication. I've changed a lot about my eating and just my personal routines as far as like exercise and things like that. So I'm going to hold myself accountable. Right now I'm maintaining the weight. I haven't lost any more, and what I really want to do is continue to lose without the help of the medication. So That's why I kind of made this like goal page, because I really want to work on continuing to get my weight down. It's going to be better overall for my health, and it's going to hold me accountable for, you know, the weight gain and weight loss that continues on throughout my life. So I wanted to set a little bitty mini goal page here specifically dedicated to that. And so I just have each month here, and it has 42 days, and I was numbering it out into 42, and then I just grade out the numbers that aren't relevant. And then I wrote week 1, week 2, week 4, and so on, so that I can basically record my weight loss, so I can tell from week by week and month by month whether or not I'm losing or gaining. And then I have these little check boxes here which just ask me basic questions like, did I reach my goal? Check it off. If not, then there's a little space to explain. This is the goal for this month. In the highlights, I mean, that's what the goal is. So the goal for May is 15 to 18 pounds. It's possible, although the goal is that we still want to be losing. So I'm going to set a goal to lose 15 pounds. I think that's realistic in a month. Especially if you're clean eating and working out consistently. I think that it's reachable. I have a target weight of where I should be, and then, like I said, I would record my weight loss here for each week, and then check off if I hit the goal, or if not, explain to myself why. And then that's how it is for June. And then by the end of June/July, I should be at a reasonable weight that I would like to stay at. So if I do stay on track and do very well, then my goal is to just maintain that weight. And so the goals kind of change from here to here. They change as terms as, instead of losing, I'm maintaining. So that's what I turned this little page into. And then again, this is April, and April has been a fun month in the Hobonichi. This is kind of what stemmed me to just ditch my Leuchtturm altogether. Not because I didn't like the Leuchtturm. I definitely love the Leuchtturm planner, but I just liked the space in this planner a lot more than the space I was allotted in the Leuchtturm. Plus, I got 2 books with enough space in the grid versus the 3 that I was using with the weekly and the monthly, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the weekly, the daily, and then that Moleskine book. This is a lot easier to kind of navigate through. So I have my weekly trackers here, and as you can see, I've been consistently using them. So I just keep them here so I can see each week. But yeah, this is my weekly tracker, and then I still have like other things. I still have like other things associated, like appointments and things like that. I did a mini flip of this the last time, and the last time I did it, there wasn't a whole lot in here. So same thing, same layout that I've been doing in the Leuchtturm. I have my top 5, and then I have my to-do list. And then I have some notes. You may hear a lot of chit chat, and you might hear my son. I hope I think he's okay. He's just coughing. But yeah, you might hear a little chit chat, a lot of chatter and stuff in the background. My family is here, so they're all hanging out because my husband's back home. So just ignore the chatter that you hear. But nonetheless, like I said, I've been doing what I've been doing in my Leuchtturm, which is just my running to-do list. I got a top 5 now. And then, of course, my infamous sticky notes, where I basically write notes for the day or a journal on that note or whatever. And then, yeah, this is how I've been using it. I had a goal page. This was dedicated to the first trip that me and my husband took when he came back. He got back on April 10th. I picked him up from the airport. He was here April 10th, and then April 12th through, I can't remember the dates, but April 12th to whatever that Monday was, we took a cottage trip, and that's where we're going again. We're taking another cottage trip this weekend. It was very relaxing and just really good and just intimate to be in his space again. So this was like a little goal sheet of things that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to get my nails done, hair done, all that stuff. I never got my nails done, but I did get my hair done. And I kind of need to do the same thing like this Thursday. But yeah, just little notes and things like this. And again, my running to-do list. So these were the dates that we were gone. And as we were gone, I obviously didn't take my planner because I really just wanted to focus on the time spent with my husband. I didn't want to focus on my planners or be in my planners, because although I use my planners for real life, and it's more than just a hobby for me. Like, I use them to capture things that I can't always remember or to keep up with things. It's a hobby and a life functioning device nonetheless, but I didn't want to think about plans when I was on this trip. I just wanted to spend that time worry free with my husband, and I'll probably be doing that again this weekend because it was freeing to not have to worry about, keeping up with a date, keeping up with the weather and all of that stuff. It was just a little bit freeing to not have it. So yeah, been using this to basically capture to-do lists, notes, things like that. Simple things that I've been doing in my lifestyle. And this has really worked for me, and I've really, really been loving this. And so, like I said, I have a plethora of things going on in here, from sticky notes. This is today, and I need to update today. I got these little, what are these? From the Noted brand. They're like little mini, teeny, tiny habit trackers. Love them. I haven't filled this one out today, but yes. And then, like I said, when I have appointments and things like that, I just put the appointment sticky note on the day. Now, what I took from my Hemlock and Oak planner, which a lot of you who've been keeping up with my channel, you probably have already realized that I've used these in that planner, which is these weekly stickies. I was using them, so I was gifted them with my Hemlock and Oak because it was a pre-order, and I got the pre-order kind of late, so I got that as a freebie. And I'm kind of glad that I did because it allowed me to have a weekly layout within my actual Hemlock and Oak. But since I stopped using my Hemlock and Oak due to its size, I started using those stickies for this planner because, like I said, I like the weekly supplement, but it is really, really small, and sometimes I still need a weekly snapshot of, like my basic week. Like, I need to know specifics for each day. And so that's what I have here. That's what I've decided to do for this week particularly, is just use the weekly stickies to kind of jot down some of those bigger events for the week. Not necessarily weekly plans, but just like some of those big highlighted things that I can't forget. And then I have like a running to-do list of weekly stuff that I need to get done. So that is how this book is being used, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm not even going to talk about the Nanami Cafe because I explained in the last video what this book's intentions is, and I've just not gotten there yet because life has been lifing, and I just haven't gotten to this book specifically. As far as the field notes book in the back, it was originally supposed to be a commonplace book or reference book. At this point, I have other plans. Oops, I'm sorry, I bumped you guys. I have other plans that I want to use that book for, and when I get there, I will share all of that with you. You guys know I will keep you guys in the loop. I won't keep you in the dark. So that is, so this is my Hobonichi setup. That's the update with that. I feel like all my videos lately are just updates, but mainly just me talking about my system and all of that stuff. So along with the Hobonichi original, I wanted a week's planner specifically for the weekly layout. So if I didn't have a daily, I would be totally fine without having a daily. I like having a daily for daily notes and daily to-do lists because that helps. But I absolutely need to have a weekly spread where I can literally sit down and map out all the events for the week, so that way I'm not forgetting or missing specific things. So instead of going with the Hobonichi weeks, I decided to go with this SFD. And I already explained the contents of these added books, so I won't go over those anymore. And also, I've taped some little like strings to the book, so it's just held on by tape. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just held on by tape. And of course, as you can see in the front, I've added patches and all of the embellishments to make this like really fun and cutesy and just like rainbow-esque and unicorn-esque. So I know you guys are like, it's more colorful than it has ever looked in recent months and years, but I believe a little color just makes me a little bit more happier, so I'm embracing it this year. But nonetheless, like I said, I originally wanted to go with the Hobonichi weeks, but chose against that because this planner had a blank slate. Also, it had more notes pages in the back, 365 to be exact, and it was undated, which appealed to me because if I chose not to use this planner, then I wouldn't feel an enormous amount of guilt. So I chose to go with this planner. I did go ahead and add some tabs. So I tabbed the note section out, and this is just called odds and ends also. So that way, whenever I want to use those note pages in the back, they're definitely there. I'm not going to do dailies. I don't need dailies in this planner because I already have the Hobonichi original. I don't need dailies. What I want the note section or the extra pages for specifically is like list making, note taking, extra to-do lists for a specific day, grocery lists, things like that. Okay, so loving this, absolutely love this, loving all my tabs, loving it so much. I shared the first week, so this was how the first week ended up. And of course, I've been using my dot markers to kind of color code or coordinate some of those tasks, whether, and then this week, the following week from this one was exactly the same. I did the same thing, day specific task on this side, extra notes and color coding. And then this is when I changed things a little bit. So I started using a tracker in here. And then I start doing my day specifics down here, and then same thing. And then here we are on this week, where instead of doing day specifics, I now have like a list of things that need to be done for the oh my goodness, I now have a list of things that need to be done for said week. But now I have symbols. So I have I, C, D, and T. So what that stands for is in progress. That's I. The C is for complete. The D is for done, and the T is for transfer. And as I complete a task or I'm working on a task, I just mark off where I am. And if it's in progress and it's going to be in progress for more than a day or more than a week, then I'm just going to draw an arrow. I think it's similar to the Alistair method. I don't know. I have never done the Alistair method. So if this is similar to that, then well, I guess I'm doing the Alistair method, but to me, it's just like a little tracker to indicate where I am as far as the task completion. And then I have like a little tracker here, which is just my habits, and it's just this tracker here. So tracking my routines, my medications, whether or not I've worked on social media, things like that. So that's basically what that tracker is. And I haven't done much of anything else in here. Now, where does this extra planner that I talked about in the beginning come from? This Agenda 52 personal planner. I want to make sure that I'm still in frame. Okay, so where does this come from out of these two things? Because realistically speaking, I'm set. Like, I don't need an extra planner. I don't want an extra planner. I have my setup here. Like, the Hobonichi and this work wonders together because I do all my week planning here and then I do all my daily to-dos there. And when I don't need a daily or don't need to reference a daily, I can just reference my weekly, which works for me, right? So why am I toying with this over here on the right? Well, like I said, I would definitely keep you guys updated as far as how this planner holds up over time and things like that. And so I'm going to be raw and honest with my opinions of this planner. So when I tried this planner last year, I was not, impressed. I did feel like I got maybe a second quality planner the last time. I'm not shitting on her company. I'm not shitting on her planners or anything like that or nothing like that. I just think that when a company is producing a product for the first time, there's bound to be trial and error. It's the same for like game systems. Like me and my husband, we are avid game players. And so like anytime they launch a new system, whether that be the PS5 or the Xbox or whatever, there's always, like drawbacks or complications with that first batch. And so it takes them a while before they can, work out all the bugs. And so this was, I want to say last year was her first time creating this planner or launching this planner. And so it's not perfect by any means. So binding may need to be worked on in the future. But for me, as I was using this planner, I started realizing, so in the beginning, this planner did not lay flat whatsoever. So if I were to flip like here in the planner, it doesn't lay flat. It doesn't stay down. I'd have to put a little bit of stress to this spine to make it flat, to make it lay down. Which the Hobonichi, you don't have that problem per se. But in here, when I broke the spine in just a little bit, I knew this planner was very flimsy, so I tried to be extremely careful with doing that. And I realized that, oh no, I could see and I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but I started to see where the spine was showing, and it kind of looks like my pages are going to rip away from this spine. So I pulled up a few of these pages just to see how hard of a pull would actually tear this page away or break it even further. And I don't know, I want to ignore it because I'm so content in this planner. I like this planner a lot. I like the size. I like how slim it is, how portable it is. I don't want a real cover for it. I love it. It's light, it's airy, it has everything that I need. So I absolutely love this planner. But I'm not going to lie that it's kind of freaking me out a little bit that I'm going to continue to use this planner and this is going to rip all the way up or rip apart. And that would make me so mad because I've worked so hard in setting this up. And I am very content with, the weekly layout. And I don't really want to set up a bullet journal or do any extra work that would take away time from other things. I don't want to do that. So, it's just very devastating that this is happening to me again. So, I can't blame anyone but myself for not getting the Hobonichi weeks, because I believe that if I had gotten the Hobonichi weeks like I had originally planned, I wouldn't have this problem. But I can't help also that I like the flexibility with Hannah's book, and I like all the extra pages that she has in the back. Those are some big appealing options. So instead of buying like an Aura Estelle or a Sterling Ink or anything like that, I was like, no, I'm not spending another $50 or plus on a cover and a book and going through this process again. I said, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and I'm going to pick up something cheap, and I'm going to make that my backup option should I feel like my weeks is not going to withstand the stress on the spine. So originally I picked up the Agenda 52. I don't know what binder this is called, but I picked up the one that appealed to me most, right? So I picked up this Agenda 52 binder, and then I picked up the inserts that matched the binder. And I kind of put those inserts up, but nonetheless, I picked those up and I was like, okay, if my weeks falls apart, this is going to be backup. I don't care what social media thinks. I don't care if they think my planner is boring. It's here to work for me, right? So I did that. I wasn't loving the thick inserts for Agenda 52. So ended up buying two Stology or two B6 Stology notebooks. And I sat down today and I cut them up. I did it all by hand, and I put those Stology notebooks in here. So it is not done. See, I got a little bit of that oil from the Neosporin from my finger on here, and that's already bothering me, but we're going to continue to rock with it. So this is the Agenda 52 planner, like I said, and basically how I have this set up is it's just blank paper, right? Just blank paper. I have two entire Stology notebooks. Two Stology notebooks definitely fit in here. I did, after I got all the pages in here, they were all crisp and all lined up because I got a new paper cutter and stuff. I was realizing that the corners was hitting this right here and tearing the pages up. So downside to the Agenda 52 is that I don't know what is up with that. Also, this is such a cheap planner. You know, I didn't pay a whole lot of money for this, and I got this basically on sale. So the rings aren't the best, but what I care about is what the planner can do for me. Okay, it can hold some paper, and it's got pockets, compartments for me to put things, and so that's what we're looking at here. We're not going to look at, you know, the quality or anything like that, because one, I'm not consistent with rings, so I definitely didn't want to invest in something that was $50-$60 and then not be invested in it. Okay, so what I did is I cut down two Stologies, like I said. I put my stencils in here. I got some tabs in here because, you know, if I'm going to use this for a bullet journal, I've got to tab out things. I would much rather prefer my tabs and my weeks, but we're not there anymore. And then I pulled out my monthly stencils. So I've got my monthly stencils, which this is going to come in handy. So this works because this planner is almost like a personal wide. The inserts for the Agenda 52 planner inserts, they are really, really wide compared to regular personal. So it worked for me to cut down a B6 and to put that in here. So I cut down this B6 Stology. I cut down two. So I have 700 plus pages in here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set this up, not on this first page because I need 2 pages for the monthly. But what I'm going to do is set this up. So I'm going to set all my weeks and all of my months that I need in this planner. And it's kind of bummy because I used my best stickers and stuff and best tabs and things. Oops, darn it. Okay. This fell out. That's okay. We'll put it back. But like I said, it's kind of bummy because I used like my best monthly stickers for this. My best tabs that I like for this because these are really nice, sturdy, colorful tabs. And I used a lot of stuff for this, right? But if it doesn't work out, you know, it is what it is. I can't go back and repurchase again because it may do the same thing. So I'm not even going to take that chance. Instead, I'm going to just move into rings because the easiest thing for me is if something is falling apart, I can just get a new notebook, cut it down, and redo this again. I don't have to worry about the spine. This was a cheap binder, so if the binder falls apart, I can just replace it with another cheap binder. easy peasy for me. And who knows, if I really like it, then maybe I can invest. But I'm not looking to invest in something expensive because I don't know how consistent I will be with this. But what I'm going to do in my spare time is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to draw in my monthlies and I'm going to draw in my weeklies. I have this monthly stencil, so I'm going to do that. And if you saw my B6 Slim bullet journal, then this, you probably already know how the monthlies are going to look and how my weeks are going to look. I'm going to make this look exactly like a Hobonichi weeks, as far as weeks, 1 week on one page, notes on another. It's going to look exactly like that. And yeah, that's where we're going to go. That's what we're going to do as far as like how this is going to be set up. It's going to be set up just like the Hobonichi weeks. And this is going to be my backup in the event that my SFD falls apart on me, literally. I'm just going to take the contents from my SFD setup and move them right on over to this setup. So by that means all the contents in here, it's going to come over. All my little reference book log notebooks, that stuff is going to get moved over, and it's going to be in this planner because I don't have time anymore to sit and to repurchase yet again another weeks and then go back and do this all over again. I'm just going to play it safe and do what I feel fits, right? Okay. So yes, you guys, that is my planning setup. It was long-winded and very detailed, but I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from as far as my planner situation, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little update that I gave about my planner situation. Let me know what you guys think. Oops, I keep bumping you. Let me know what you guys think. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I forgot to mention that. And welcome back to all my current and returning subscribers. Hey loves, love you, miss you. And I will see you guys in my next planning related video. Bye loves.